mean by that, I've been really into zombie apocalypses recently.
Woo!
And when you start getting enough into those, then it kind of spirals off into other plague stories and apocalypse stories. And I just can't stop thinking about what that would be like, you know? Would that be fun? That's a crazy thing to say. I'm aware that's a crazy thing to say. But along with zombies, one of my favorite things is like abandoned places, and a destroyed zombie-infested world is the ultimate abandoned place. Plus, if you explore a destroyed zombie-infested world, then you are not breaking the law because there are no laws left to break.
Yeah.
Why is it that when people in zombie movies explore abandoned buildings, they're doing what they need to survive and bravely enduring the apocalypse, but when I do it, it's breaking and entering. It's just fun and prison. What's up with that? So I think about it sometimes, about how maybe I'd enjoy myself in the post-apocalyptic landscape. And I'm not saying I'm pro-apocalypse. Okay, I know that's a divisive issue. I'm just saying that it might be kind of fun to wander through abandoned cities and never have to make small talk again.
Yeah.
Although, if The Last of Us Part 2 is any indication, even the zombie apocalypse does not keep you safe from teenage drama. That's all the first 30 minutes of that game were, which
Eternal.
was all I played. Because if I want teenage drama, I'll, I don't know, go to school, talk to my peers for a change. If I'm playing a zombie game, I would like the zombie apocalypse. I will say, playing enough of those games can kind of start to change the way that you see the world. Like, after you play a few survival games, you start to look at everything as potential loot and or crafting materials. You start to be like, damn, you just have all of that? I can use this stuff, we just have it lying around. I start to be like an angry old lady that survived the Great Depression and never lets her grandkids forget it. You have everything so easy these days. Your indoor heating and your food your parents buy for you, you wouldn't last a day after the collapse. I say as though I'd have a chance of survival. Look, all the bottles behind the bar there is worth like 50 med kits, okay? Or Molotov cocktails. Not to destroy stuff with, just in case a horde of zombies burst in here all of a sudden. I'm sure I'm not an anarchist, just a prepper. I'm not a good prepper. I would definitely die in the zombie apocalypse immediately. I would not survive. However, I would argue that most zombie movie characters would also not survive if it was going to happen realistically. Here is a weirdly common zombie archetype for you. Guy who goes into a coma and then wakes up, I don't know, let's say 28 days later. And then the whole world is just abandoned. Everyone's disappeared. There's zombies everywhere. That guy's never waking up from his coma. Not as a living person, anyway. Because a hospital is the absolute worst place to be in a zombie apocalypse. If you step foot within a mile of one, you are already a goner. That guy does not stand a chance. Can you imagine if you went into a coma and then you got bit by a zombie and then the only part of your brain that's still conscious just thinks it's a side effect of the head trauma, so you're wandering around like a zombie. And then they find a cure like years later and they give you a cure, you wake up, they're like, congratulations, you're not a zombie anymore. You're like, what? I was a zombie? I thought that was all just a coma-induced hallucination. I wonder if you get bit by a zombie, if there's any part of your brain that still knows what's going on, like, and what's happening in your head while that's happening? Is it like a cartoon? When you get really hungry, you start to see all your friends as like chicken drumsticks in suits? You just everybody is food? Yes. Or do you just think you have really bad impulse control suddenly, and then you get really angry at work one day and you accidentally bite your boss, and you're like, whoa, I didn't know I needed anger management this badly. Or maybe you get bit by a zombie and then you die. Your body's still going around, but you decide to like stick around as a ghost for a little bit and just kind of watch and see what happens. Sit there with some ghost popcorn and like make fun of your zombie self as they stumble around, like not knowing what they're doing. Or you can cheer them on while they take out people that you don't like.
Yes.
Yeah, get them! That's payback for the time that you made fun of me in 8th grade. Cheer on, you know? Of course, then I probably have to watch myself like turn my friends and family, be really sad and emotional. I have to go through that whole journey. But it's all good TV. And then they can join me in the afterlife, you know, and it'll be just like old times. We can all sit there and make fun of the whole apocalypse together. So that's what I'd be up to. I'd be fully dead. But like I said, I think most zombie characters wouldn't survive any better than I would because none of them can get their priorities in order. They are always like, at the beginning, they're like, okay, we're gonna wait for rescue, as though that's gonna come when it's very clear that nobody is gonna come save them. And then after they finally realize that they're gonna have to fend for themselves, and they set up some kind of semi-permanent community, you enter the inevitable phase of the zombie apocalypse where everyone will not stop banging each other all the time. You think they would realize that they have other priorities.
None.
You can wait to cheat on your girlfriend until you're sure you won't get interrupted by a rival survival faction raiding your camp.
Not the
No.
faction.
Who cares about finding food for the winter? Abraham has to cheat on Rosita with Holly, and Andrea won't stop trying to sleep with Rick. I've been reading The Walking Dead.
Yeah. Spoilers.
Yeah, sorry. Should have flagged the spoiler warning. That's my bad. But I think the most big reason that most zombie survivors wouldn't actually make it far enough is because they act like they've never seen a zombie movie before. They act like this is some kind of new thing. They act like nobody's ever come up with zombie movies before, and they go around making the same mistakes as every zombie movie character ever before them. They never even say the word zombie. It's always walkers or infected or biters or something. I wonder how much time they waste coming up with new names for the zombies. They get together, they have made their faction, and they're having a meeting. They're like, okay, obviously we need to figure out how we're going to find food for the winter and how we're going to protect our families and stuff. But first, most important issue, what are we going to call the zombies? All right, thanks everyone. You've been great. Enjoy the rest of the show.
Yeah. Woo!